Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Range is hot. Lock and load. It's time for the Gun Rack with your hosts, Joey and Drew.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gun Rack, Sonoran Desert Institute School of Firearms Technology's official podcast. I'm Josiah Upper. Folks call me Joey, and with me we have one...
Drew Poplin,
moving in perfect sync because we are in the same space. It is rare, but it is glorious when we get the chance, and you might hear a little bit of echoey room noise. That's because we are broadcasting together in a slightly different location, so thank you for being patient. We have something really cool for you guys today. I'm actually really excited to share this with you guys. We're going to be doing an interview with the people from GunSkins. And GunSkins is this, I'm not going to try to spoil anything because they're going to tell you what it is, but it is this absolutely fascinating product. Cool company, fun design. They actually gave me a freebie back in the day. I've yet to put it on an AK mag, but I'm going to. Super cool company, and we have the opportunity to do a little bit of a deep dive with them. They are going to be partners with us here at Sonoran Desert Institute, one of our resource partners, as we bring that list back into shape. We're very excited about that. But before we get into that, let's talk about the Sonoran Desert Institute. Are you interested in the world of firearms technology? Do you want to take the knowledge and skills that you have in that space and bring them to the next level? Well, Sonoran Desert Institute might just be the place for you to do that. Sonoran Desert Institute has 3 programs, 2 of which are in the School of Firearms Technology. We have the Associate of Science in Firearms Technology degree, that's the ASFT. We have the Certificate in Firearms Technology Gunsmithing, that is the CFTG. And then in our other school, the School of Unmanned Technology, we have the Certificate in Unmanned Technology Aerial Systems, that's the CUTAS. If you're interested in any of those at all, hop onto sdi.edu. Check out our academics tab on the homepage. You can also see there a course catalog so you can get a very good idea of what you would be learning about within your course of study. So once again, that's sdi.edu. All right, so before we get into our main presentation, Drew Poplin, as always, is on the clues. Drew's Clues. Before we hop into the this coming weeks, we want to give a shout out to, what's that guy's name? Ty, you called in, well, you wrote in and were exactly correct in your guess. So if you will send us an email with your address and shirt size, we'll get some goodies sent to you. So thank you, Ty. And folks, if you send stuff in, send answers in. We will be sending goodies out until my boss tells me I can't anymore, and I doubt that's going to happen. So marketing at sdi.edu with all your answers for firearms trivia or even questions or comments. All right, what do we got?
All right, so last week's answer that Ty got correctly is the bazooka. And I will stand by that gum is incredibly stale. I've not had good experiences with that gum.
Oh, I just got that. I just got that right now. Yeah, bazooka bubble gum's a pretty bad look, but that's all right.
Yeah, but that's not commenting on the firearm at all. Anyway, this week's clues. This firearm is a machine pistol. It was developed in the late 1950s, but it was completed in 1961. It fires 32 ACP, has a foldable stock, and it was once panned as tactically irrelevant.
Interesting stuff. I wonder what it could be. There are not a lot of firearms out there that are chambered in 32 ACP, especially not in the latter half of the 20th century. I think of that as an older cartridge. I might be wrong, though. I did have one of my very first concealed carry firearms was in 32 ACP.
Really?
Yes. It was a Derringer, a little double-barreled Derringer. They make them in pretty big cartridges, but mine was 32 ACP. It was itty-bitty tiny, and I was not a huge fan, but that's not necessarily the cartridge's fault. Okay, so if you think you know the answer, send an email to marketing@sdi.edu. If you get it right, we will send you something, and I will continue to do that until my boss says I can't anymore, which is probably not ever going to happen. So, marketing@sdi.edu, send in your answer, and if you want, go ahead and even send your address and shirt size, and we'll just send it right out to you. We'll send out a little package to you, and if you have any questions or comments about the episode, feel free to do the same. I know some of you guys listen to this or watch this on YouTube and our audiograms. You can also send your guesses there in the comment section. We do monitor those. We'll be happy to send it your way. Obviously, if you do so on YouTube, maybe don't put your address out there for the world to see. But we'll get in touch with you if you get that right. So, marketing@sdi.edu. Now, we got trivia out of the way. We got our SDI plug out of the way. Without any further adu, let's go talk with Rick from GunSkins. We're going to be talking with him and Steve Ross, who is, of course, the director of marketing here at SDI. And we might even have a very rare Jody appearance. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. I know. No guarantees, but he was invited. I got a tentative acceptance on my Google invite, which I didn't even know existed. So 50-50 chance you're going to hear him in a hot minute. Let's get right into it, shall we? Okay, everyone, we are here with Rick from GunSkins. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Outstanding.
Excellent. And can you tell folks just about your kind of position with the company you're working at, and then maybe what your company is about?
Sure. Happy to do so. So I'm one of the owners of GunSkins. There's four of us. And GunSkins was started back in 2013, really as part of a hunt gone wrong, if you will. And so our founder was stalking a coyote, actually. And the coyote got a glimpse of something flashing off of his rifle. And so he's a pretty clever guy and really just started experimenting with different ways to camouflage his gun. And up to that point, he'd used, spray paint and tape and all sorts of means of camouflaging his gun. And,
sure.
And he thought, gosh, there's got to be a better way. And he came up with this idea of potentially using vinyl. So GunSkins is basically it's a non-permanent vinyl wrap that it's a cost-effective alternative to hydro dipping or Cerakoting your gun, and you don't have to go through an FFL, and you can throw it on there yourself.
Interesting. So when did this company come to be?
Back in 2013. So we've been around quite a while, and I think that we've really started pushing in the last few years to get our name out there, because the reception that we get from customers is just amazing. Whether it's at SHOT Show or just getting inbounds on via email or social media from folks, they love the product. And the unfortunate part is that our brand and product recognition is not as high as it ought to be. So I think that there's a huge market for this product, but it's hard to get your name out there and get that recognition so that people understand what a GunSkin is, and that solution is out there and available to them.
Sure. When people see your product, could it be mistaken for something like a Cerakote or a hydro drip?
Yeah, definitely. And in fact, when we have our booth at SHOT Show, folks will frequently assume that it's either a dipped or Cerakoted product, and when we tell them it's vinyl, they jaws sort of drop, and even more so once they pick it up and they touch it, they feel it, it's like, wow, this is amazing, and the price point is pretty strong as well. Our products range from a low of $12.99 up to a max of $67.99 for a full AR-15 kit, as an example. That's going to give you all the templated pieces for your upper and lower receiver, your mag well, your magazine itself, your pistol grip, the buttstock, the handguard piece, Picatinny rail piece, and yeah, we try and make it as easy as we can for folks, and want them to have a good experience with our product.
Yeah, absolutely. So would you say that kind of the competitive differences between your company and something like a Hydro Dip would be price and the fact that you're able to make it kind of a non-permanent camouflage?
Yeah, I think those are the main points of differentiation, and so the price that's a considerable difference.
Yeah,
the ease of install too, where an average do-it-yourselfer can have a successful install is really a selling point. And then as you mentioned, the fact that it's not permanent, it allows you to swap out your patterns. If you're a hunter, you can swap it out with the seasons or with whatever you're going after. Or if you just want to change the look, it's super easy to do. A little bit of heat with a heat gun or even a hair dryer, and it peels off pretty cleanly. Very little residue left behind, and anything that's left can kind of be cleaned up with some solvent. Super easy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. If you have a let's say you apply a camouflage pattern, it's something you end up really liking. Is there can you keep it on there permanently? Will it survive, with indefinite round count, or is there kind of a lifespan to this kind of product?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and the answer is that it sort of depends on usage. And so, I've got skins installed on some of my hunting rifles, as well as some of my shotguns that I use for birds, as well as sporting clays. It's been on there, 3, 4, 5 years in some cases, and it's holding up nicely. You compare that to maybe an everyday carry, that's getting holstered, particularly in a tight Kydex style.
Yeah.
And you're going to get friction wear on the vinyl for sure. But it holds up pretty decently. I've got a pistol that I like to use as my everyday carry, and I've had it on there a couple of years. And there's some signs of wear near the muzzle, but not a big deal. And frankly, that's the vinyl doing its job. Our
it's taking the wear.
Yeah, exactly. Our tagline is protection and camouflage, and the idea is that the vinyl takes the wear and not your firearm.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the camouflage patterns that you have, are you kind of set? Do you develop or design new patterns, or what is that process like?
So we've got quite a few licensed patterns from folks like True Timber and King's Camo and ATAX, QU, Cryptek, Prime One, Stockland, Realtree, and so forth. So we have a number of licensed patterns that we offer to our customers. We also have some house patterns that we've developed and like really well. And then additionally, we allow customers to submit a custom design if they want. And our turnaround is a little bit longer on a product like that. On a custom design, it's maybe 10 days or so. Normally with our in-stock stuff and our both our licensed and house patterns will ship within 24 hours, Monday through Friday. But on custom, we have about a 10-day turnaround. But that allows maximum flexibility, and folks can put what they want on in terms of design.
Yeah. So with some of the ones that you've wrapped yourself, do you have a preferred pattern? Do you have a favorite one that you've done?
Oh boy, I would say our most popular pattern is a pattern called Provail Victory, which is kind of a stylized American flag. It's got a wave to it, and it's also has words from the Second Amendment within the pattern as well. That's our best selling pattern. For me personally, I have my hunting rifle my 308 wrapped in Prime One Woodlands, which is a a good all around camo pattern. But yeah, there's so many I love. I would say that there's not many I don't like. There's the ones that everybody's familiar with, particularly with Realtree and True Timber, very popular patterns that are out there. Another cool one too is we've got a Vietnam Tiger Stripe pattern, which is one of our house patterns that we developed.
That was literally the next question I was going to ask.
Oh, really?
So that's great. Yeah, that's my very favorite.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, and we developed it with the AK-47 in mind, and it looks super cool with that pattern on it. We love it.
That is really cool. I've got a Galil Ace that I would love to get done in a tiger stripe. I might have to come by and try that out. That would be
absolutely
that's the dream.
No, that'd be awesome. We could get some good pictures of it and get it posted too. That would look very cool.
Yeah, agreed. I know you guys do magazine skins. I would assume that's some of that you're referring to at the lower price points for your products.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you find that the popularity of patterns remains the same? Is it different for that?
Those sell really well. And I think it's a combination of the price point and it's people, right or wrong, can be a little bit intimidated by the install, and so sometimes they'll start with a mag skin and say, okay, how workable is this? And there's an assumption that it's going to be kind of like a rear window decal or something, where it's like, man, if you get it a little bit sideways, you're kind of screwed, right? And it's not the case with this product. In fact,
yeah, totally.
When I demo it in front of people, I'll take a piece of our vinyl and I'll wad it into a ball like a piece of paper, and then I'll kind of unstick it from itself and do a successful install, and you'll never know that was wadded up into a ball. So it's super forgiving, but it's like anything. You kind of have to learn how to work with the product, and for most people, the learning curve is pretty low. It's just a super forgiving product. So anyway, the mag skins and the magwell skins sell well because they're easy and they're cheap. I think you can wrap a magazine in about, I don't know, a minute and a half or so, and it's a good entry point for the product. But I'll tell you, even people assume that the AR-15 and the AK-47 is they'll ask sometimes, what's the hardest thing to wrap, and they assume it's going to be one of those two or both, and they're really not. And the reason is because those particular templates are fully templated out, and so there's a piece for the dust cover, there's a piece for the shell deflector, and so we've tried to make it as easy as we can for folks on the install.
That's fantastic. So with the company where it is now, what would you like to see for GunSkins in the next year or 2 or 3 in terms of an impact on the industry?
Yeah, I would just really like to grow and build our brand and product recognition out in the market, because I think that the feedback that we have from our customers, I think we're just barely scratching the surface in terms of the addressable market for this product, and the feedback that we get is extraordinary. And I think that there's a really logical place for for your students, for gunsmiths coming out of your program, as well as for dealers to participate here, because what we find is that while this is a do-it-yourself product, there's a certain segment of the population that just beads of sweat pop out in their forehead when they think about doing this, and they'd just rather pay a gunsmith to have it professionally installed. And so I think there's a place in the gunsmithing world, and we've tried to create a really good program for students and graduates at SDI in that regard, by giving them a pretty substantial discount on our product and trying to support them as they start their career in gunsmithing. But but with dealers in particular, we find that our most successful dealers, they'll do a few things with our GunSkins. Obviously, they're selling the product, but to really effectively demo the product, what they'll do is they'll take a used gun that may not look so pretty. They'll put a wrap on it and they'll display it, and that does a few things. I mean, one, it gives their gunsmiths some practice with the product. Two, it makes that used gun look a lot nicer. And they, the dealers are sometimes a little frustrated. It's like, gosh, I just wrapped this thing, and as soon as I get it in the case, it sells. Somebody wants to buy it. And so they're wrapping another one. But it also demonstrates, the product itself. The product is, if you're not familiar with it, it's sort of hard to understand or visualize when it comes in kind of a flat package and it's a piece of vinyl, right? But when they see it actually installed on the gun and they see the quality of it, it's like, wow, I get it. And so, we've seen that, like I said, our most successful dealers are spending time wrapping and doing customer installs to really demo the product.
You mentioned that there is a fairly significant discount for SDI affiliated people. Could you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. So, we have a very simple web page that we ask you guys to fill out. It's name, address, your SDI certificate level, and your phone number and email. That's it. And with that, you get a 20% discount on all of our vinyl products. You don't have any purchase minimums, and you get access to our digital catalog and so forth. So, in addition to that, we will automatically allow you to become a dealer, with no minimum purchase. And for students that spend $500 or more, we'll give out $100 gift card as well to spend on our products. So it's, we think it's a pretty cool way to help a new gunsmith bootstrap their business and their clientele. Additionally, as part of entering into our gunsmith program, we'll put you on our dealer and gunsmith map, and so you'll be flagged as a gunsmith and certified installer for our product at no cost to the student or the graduate. So we're doing everything we can to try and help the students and the graduates get their business going.
That's fantastic. If folks want to see samples of what you guys do, I know you and I actually, before the interview, spoke a little bit about possibly us coming down. We found out that we're about an hour apart from each other by sheer coincidence.
Yeah.
Before the interview began, and we're talking about doing maybe a video sometime in the near future. But if someone right now wanted to see some of your stuff, obviously gunskins.com is going to be a good place for that. But is there any social media that they should be looking for, paying attention to?
Absolutely. So we've got a great gallery on Instagram. We've got a Facebook page. We've got very detailed install videos on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, so they can check those out. You can get to all these things, with the exception of Facebook. You can get to our gallery on Instagram as well as our YouTube videos off of our gunskins.com homepage. We have on our support page, within gunskins.com, we have a link to the videos. We have a link to FAQs. And of course, we have our gallery link there as well. So yeah, that's probably the best place to start. And yeah, I really encourage folks, to order, a couple skins, order a mag skin or two, and just give it a shot. I think your students will find that it's a great product, easy to work with, and something that they can bring to their customers.
Yeah, absolutely. And before before we go, are there any? I know we ran into you at the Gathering by PSA in March. Are there any other events that folks might find you at in the near future?
Yeah, let's see. So, I mean, we go to SHOT each year for sure. We try and make it to the NRA annual meeting, and then we just kind of pick and choose, and we try and post where we're going to be, on our website and on our Facebook page. But yeah, I think that those are the main places to find us, and just follow us on Facebook, and you'll know where we're at any given time.
Fantastic. All right. Now, before we wrap up, is there anything else that you would want to share with the audience on the way out?
I don't think so. We've covered a lot of ground here today.
We have.
It's been spectacular. I would say this, in terms of the various kits that we offer, we like to say that we offer a kit for any gun, and that's mostly true. I'm sure somebody can come up with something that we don't have a piece of vinyl that is perfectly matched for it, but generally speaking, our pistol skin is going to fit pistols 8 up to 8 inches in length, and our shotguns and rifle skins are going to fit most shotguns and rifles. And in worst case, if you're dealing with a unique firearm that we don't have a specific kit for, then we offer gear skins, which are basically rectangular sheets of vinyl that you can customize for your particular install. And they run in size from as small as 8 by 15 inches for a scope or something like that, up to as large as 24 inches by 50 inches.
Cool deal. All right. Well, everyone, that is Rick with GunSkins. Rick, this has been absolutely awesome. And I fully expect to be able to come down there at some point in the near future and try that out with some video content as well. I think that'd be a great time. So I don't think podcast audience that this is the last that we have seen of Rick or GunSkins, but thank you so much for your time today.
Absolutely. And thank you guys. We really value the partnership with SDI and look forward to working with you guys going forward. So thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure.
All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we enjoyed having the opportunity to speak with the good folks of GunSkins. If you're interested in learning more about them, gunskins.com is the name of their website. You can check that out. SDI, as far as I'm aware, still cannot endorse individual companies as a school, but I can tell you personally that I think their stuff is really cool, and that's their website. So feel free to hop on there and see what they are about. Very interesting stuff. I know for a fact that Jody, if he's in the interview, we're recording this ahead of time pretty clearly, but if he's in the interview, he can tell you he wrapped one of his firearms in GunSkin stuff, and it looked pretty sharp. So definitely worth a check out. Gunskins.com, you can check them out there. Now, before we leave today, we want to do two things. One of them is hype up our school, Sonoran Desert Institute. If you hop onto sdi.edu, you hit the news tab. On the right side of that page, you'll see grad features as one of the topics of conversation on our blog post. From there, you can learn more about the school from the perspective of graduates of our various programs. If you want to check that out, sdi.edu, hit the news tab, hit grad features. You can learn from about the school from the perspective of students and graduates now, and they can tell you a lot more about it than we ever could from the faculty. From the staff side of things. Neither of us are instructors just yet, but sdi.edu, news, grad features. Check us out. We'd love to have you here. All right, now we need to get over to Tales from the Range. What do we have this week?
All right, so this week we got another story from snipershigh.com, and this is by Remy Nikon 308. One day we were shooting pistols about 15 yards at a shooting tree, which I don't know what a shooting tree is. Like, I'm guessing it's a tree you shoot at, but that also doesn't seem incredibly wise.
It's like, what if we took the giving tree and then we sold it to Rural King? That's the shooting tree, I think.
I don't know why you shoot at that, but...
It's very specific and probably not good, but that's just what it made me think of.
Yeah.
What a book.
It's one book. Anyway, so one day we were shooting pistols at 15 yards at a shooting tree with 6-inch plates when the landlord stopped by. He watched for a few minutes and then said, well, heck, if you guys are standing that close, you might as well throw rocks. Not long after that, he pulls out his pistol and misses every single shot he takes. As he was standing there in disbelief, I said, you may want to stick to throwing rocks.
Air horn noises. Absolute air horn noises.
Get wrecked.
Absolute savagery.
We've all wanted to stick it to our landlord at one time or another.
Yes. Actually, no, yes.
No,
I've
yes.
had a history of very good landlords, but I also had one who would not... had a couple of eccentric moments, so I will stick with your... Sometimes it's fun to stick it to the landlord policy. Maybe don't do it because they control where you live, but...
Generally good advice, and avoid
dream.
shooting at the shooting tree.
Shooting? There's no reason to nail the shooting tree. Such a bizarre thing.
Well, I think that does it for the show this week.
I think it does. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as we do, bringing it to you every week. Feel free, once again, to respond to the trivia or with questions and comments to marketing@sdi.edu. We love to hear about it. And then in the YouTube comments as well. If we don't hear from you before then, you will hear from us, same time, next week. Have fun out there, and we'll see you at the range.
Sonoran Desert Institute is an online school accredited by the DEAC. It is headquartered at 1555 West University Drive in Tempe, Arizona. For more information about how you can craft your firearms future, visit sdi.edu.